One of the most important things that we do as a realtor is protecting our clients from getting into a bad deal or from losing their deposit money. And one of the ways we do that is by using contract contingencies. Contract contingencies are terms and conditions laid out in the contract that must be met in order for the deal to move forward. And if the contract contingencies are not met, one of the parties can terminate the sale. Most of the contingencies that we deal with in our contracts are there to protect the buyer. Most contingencies will protect one party or the other. Occasionally you'll have a contingency that will protect both. When it comes to the buyer contingencies, the two most common ones you'll see in real estate contracts are mortgage contingencies and inspection contingencies. In the mortgage contingency, you need to lay out exactly what type of loan the buyer is going to apply for, how much their down payment is, what their interest rate is going to be. And if the buyer does not have the ability to obtain a written commitment from the bank by the date listed in the contingency, they can terminate the contract and get their money back, or they can request an extension from the seller. The seller also has the option to terminate the contract if the buyer does not provide a commitment in writing by the date specified in the mortgage contingency. The inspection contingency is an opportunity for the buyer to take a look at what they're buying, but it's very important to understand that the inspection contingency indicates that any inspections on the property have to be done by licensed inspectors. Okay, so you can't just have your Uncle Joe come inspect the property and then decide to terminate or ask for repairs. It has to be a licensed home inspector. There's going to be a date by which the inspections have to be complete, and by that date you also have to get the seller any request for repairs or the termination based on the inspection. If they terminate based on inspection, they get their deposit back. If they try to negotiate repairs, there's another 5 days after the contingency date for the buyer and seller to attempt to come to an agreement on the repairs, and if not, the buyer can terminate and get their deposit back. Some other common contingencies you might see in the contracts would be an attorney approval rider, which indicates that both buyer and seller have the right to have an attorney review the contract within a set period of time, and if they don't like what they find, they can terminate the contract. Short sale approval is another common contingency, which basically indicates that there is a lien holder who is going to get less than what they are owed on the sale, so they therefore would have to approve the sale in order for it to go through. Another one you may see is probate court approval. In a case where someone passes away or someone's incapacitated and the property goes into estate, the property may have to go through a probate court approval, the purchase contract, in order for the sale to move forward.